For those of you
PC
that might not
boys.
know, Pathfinder is a tabletop RPG. The category or what else? All right.
Ranch smoothie.
Oh my god.
Who are you people?
I mean, you people.
Video demo was canceled. Please try again. What the fuck?
Hello?
Hmm?
Was I muted this whole fucking time?
No,
No,
we've been able to hear you.
We've definitely
Apparently
heard
I
you.
was muted to stream for some reason.
I swear I heard you in stream. Unless I'm being schizo, I heard you on Discord. I thought it was playing twice.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
There might be an echo because of me. I apologize.
Either way, before we get to like the recap thing, we're actually going to handle Varanar's disappearance. Varinar, as you last remember, you were fighting the cultist ladies in the, well, lady and then others in the mine.
Yes, of course.
As you had taken some damage, you end up kind of being pulled from reality. And you hear this honeyed familiar voice of Callistria as she kind of pulls you into this sort of pocket dimension and heals your wounds. And she just kind of whispers, she goes, "My chosen, I could not let you fall yet. You bear a love the gods themselves would fear, and I would see it fulfilled." As you are held there, you know, your wounds close up, and then all of a sudden you are deposited back into reality. But your surroundings are different. You are now in a vault of some sort, kind of like a keep where maybe they would keep like special treasures and stuff like that. In front of you, kind of down a little bit of a hallway, are two guards, but they don't seem to have noticed you just yet. She.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Carry on.
No. You.
No. Okay. I will. Do I recognize who these guards might be in the employ of?
Yes, they look like the city guard from Chalcaria.
Okay. So probably not enemies.
Yeah.
I will call out. Hello?
They don't respond.
Louder. Hello.
Still no response from them. Go forth, my chosen.
Okay. I hear the voice and I step forward.
As you approach the door, you can see these guards are like kind of hollowed-eyed, like they're staring forward as if they should be able to, they're at attention. They should be able to see these things, but for some reason, they seem unaware of your presence specifically. What?
Interesting. I'm gonna go wave my hand in front of one of their faces.
Yeah, nothing happens. They're just staring straight forward.
What's happened to me?
What you seek,
Is
my
it
chosen,
Rocco?
is in the vault ahead.
I will step forward. Is the vault closed?
Yes, but as you go to push your hand against the door, you kind of just pass through it.
I will not question this and follow the voice of Callistria.
Excellent. As you enter, inside this vault is obviously like treasure, right? There's some kind of like fancy armors and other sort of like valuable things to the city that would be stored here. But in the sort of back center of the room, you can see a folded piece of cloth. You would recognize this as the piece of cloth that was on the cultist's pedestal when they were doing their ritual in the mine.
Can I try to pick up the cloth?
Yes, and in fact, you can. The cloth is pliable to you. You can interact with this.
All right. I shall pick it up, examine it, see if there's any identifying markings or information I could use.
As you grab it, your goddess speaks to you again. The veil of resplendent renewal rests before you, imprisoned by these blind stewards. But it knows you, calls to you. It belongs to none but you, Varnar. By bond of loss, by fire of purpose, take it for her.
For her. Without another word, Varnar grabs the cloth, clutching it tightly to his chest before tucking it away under his shirt or whatever it is he's wearing at the moment.
Excellent.
Okay, I thought my Discord died for a
Nope,
second. I'm
you're
sorry.
good. I was reading chat and Ares is freaking out. Oh, Skylar disappeared. That's okay. I also forgot to do.
Don't worry. I can kidnap her back.
Hey, Lamau.
Who's
She never
that?
left.
And who's that next to Crooks?
That's Tara's new character that you will eventually meet. You weren't here for Thonk dying.
No, he died.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Not
You weren't
like
here for that.
this.
No, he
Not
got
like
the summary
this.
though. He got the summary though. He just forgot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so as you kind of pocket the Veil of Renewal here, you are then kind of whisked back out into the city proper, and just kind of deposited in a discreet corner. To sort of catch you up to your party, basically you find out from various people, like Sugma and his sister, that your party kind of left and head along the road. And so you basically end up following them a couple days behind up and into the Dwarven city, because as they go along, like an orc is pretty noticeable when they're in a specific party, and so like as you describe your people through these different villages. They kind of direct you as to where they went.
Of course.
And
Right.
now we're gonna get back to the rest of the party. As you guys
Very cool.
had gone along, I believe last session was the session you guys fought the manticores. Oh, but you didn't know what they were. Well, spoiler. And then you guys got to Gamilgarad, the dwarven city under the mountain, which is like somewhere in here. The volcano eruption had sort of caused a lot of havoc, but was mostly away from like civilized areas. And when you got to the city itself, the guards did the whole bossing say on you and were like, "What explosion? There was no eruption. We're fine here. Everything's under control." And that's kind of where we left off. You guys were just kind of sitting on that opening market plaza where, like, obviously all the travelers and business is conducted with foreigners and stuff like that. You guys all see Varnar approaching with private retcon as
Yo.
he introduces, "Hey guys, I brought Varnar with me." And now you guys are all together in the city. Did I miss anything about the recap?
Did Retcon fill me in on what's happened in its entirety?
Yes. Well, so he filled you in on the fact that the volcano erupted and that your party is now kind of trying to figure out what's going on in the dwarven city here.
Did he tell me about the new member?
No.
First words out of Varnar's mouth. Where is Thonk?
I'm sorry, my friend, but Donk is dead.
I think he's in an urn.
Yeah, can I just pick up the urn and just
A giant urn.
and just show
How
it
did he
to
die?
Varnar? Inglorious battle, as he always wanted. Which exploded, he died.
Then let it be said that he died a good death.
As Tara once said, he went to Poghala.
God based.
As all heroes do.
Yeah, so the new player, Varnar, sorry, the new character, in the party, Varnar, is a young woman? I don't remember.
Yes.
With white hair, and she kind of stares around blankly.
And who is this?
She'll walk right up to him and offer a hand to shake.
I'll take it. Varnar
Kali.
Nylana. Ah. Spoke over each other there a little bit, but it happens. I'm sure we'll get in sync eventually.
I was expecting her to be facing the wrong way for a second.
She's looking like right through him.
Is she... Do I notice this?
You would notice that she's got kind of the milky eyes of blindness.
Gotcha. All right, Varnar will hold his tongue. He has nothing else to say about it, necessarily.
Excellent. You guys, trying to figure out how to guide you. So just to kind of reset the area you guys are in, the plaza itself is basically a giant plateau. The city is in sort of a canyon, at which the south end is where the entrance is, and the arrival plaza that you guys are on. And at the far north end is a large dwarven castle behind a large gate. To either the west or the east, you can see on the east half there are essentially 4 tunnels. 2 kind of immediately next to the entrance, and then 2 a little bit farther down. Of those sets of two, one of each of them seems to be sort of for like mine carts or some sort of cargo transportation, whereas the other two are for people transportation. To the left, or the west rather, you would see a more residential kind of looking tunnel, just one kind of larger one, leading off that way where people traffic tends to go, and you would see that is almost exclusively dwarven, like people walking through there, whereas the other one has kind of a few sort of visitors go through there. You can also see there are guards like everywhere. They're guarding the tunnels, they're patrolling the plaza. Like it seems like there's a really heavy guard presence going on for whatever reason.
Well, I would assume the explosion.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome
You
back.
guys are on the city, and Varnar has joined up with you.
Yay. So, side note, I made my gun ball lightning.
Yes.
Yay.
Cool.
It is also worth noting, Varnar, your friends gave that veil to the city officials in Chalcaria. Just kind of as a heads up. Like, they would not expect you to have that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Would Varnar know that?
Private Reckon's about to show up again.
Surprise. We've had a duplication glitch, sorry.
You would have actually known that because Retcon would have told you that
Give it
the veil was given to the
Okay.
yeah.
Retcon.
I'll keep it secret. I'll
Retcon.
keep it safe for the moment.
You wouldn't necessarily know that, like, whatever. It's up to you to decide whether or not you trust them enough to know that you would take it back out, but you would know that it had been given to the city guards.
Is
Got
his
it.
first name Rhett? Last
Yes.
name Colin?
Yes, he is
Yes.
Hilarious.
Private Con, technically.
I find it funny how I typed it out in Branch's stream.
Yeah. As you guys are kind of, I guess, perusing the arrival plaza, anyone who can see beyond 30 feet would
Cheers.
notice, like, a group of what would appear to be like miners or craftsmen of some sort, kind of huddled near the tunnels on the east side, arguing with a guard, or what would seem to be arguing. Their actions are kind of agitated.
Do I still have comprehend languages going?
I
That
believe,
spell lasts like hours a level.
yeah, I believe you so. And I mean, if not, like, we're gonna do sort of like narrative downtime, so you can just recast it, and it won't really consume a spell slot unless you guys pick a fight somewhere.
That's fair. Ah, fuck, I'll recast it to see what's going on in case they're speaking Dwarvish.
Okay, they are slightly out of earshot. You can just tell that, like, they're agitated.
Oh, it's like, how close do I have to get to sneak? But then, I am a fucking orc.
They would
so-
absolutely notice you approaching. Like,
Yeah.
They have like the fucking oh god, what's the game? It's Snake.
Skylar, I am green.
Metal Gear is what you were thinking of.
No
Thank you.
sugarcoating
Metal
it.
Gear. Metal Gear. Fucking
Bro pulls out a box.
Mhm.
No.
Wait.
Fucking the guys notice here, they just have a little exclamation
Might
mark
be a
pop up
genius,
like
hold on.
dum.
I think I have something. I might actually have a disguise self.
Oh my god.
I can just pretend to be an orc.
Hops into the cart, rapidly paints skin, puts on a fake mustache.
And they were none the wiser.
Oh, yeah, I can cast Oath of Anonymity. So I can just cloak myself. So I
Yeah.
don't look like-
You can just magically alter your appearance
That or it's just fucking
in the middle of a
Emperor's-
plaza.
Incredible.
That or just blurs you out.
What does the cloak do, or oath do, or whatever it is?
Cloak yourself in an illusion that hides your true identity. That's literally all it says.
Okay.
So basically,
Yeah.
you're casting an illusion on yourself to make you look like somebody else.
Mm.
Are you doing that?
It feels like that'd be
Sure.
random.
What are
Let's get a
you?
random
What is your
appearance.
disguise attempting to be?
Okay, hold on. You swear an oath to not revealing your identity, magically preventing anyone from discovering it, as long as you avoid revealing your face or other easily identifiable features. Fuck.
Oh.
Again, I agreed.
You are very agreed.
The spell distorts your voice and subtly alters your body language and the appearance of your gear and any animals you use. Whether as companions, mounts, or otherwise, the spell does not make you appear to be a different creature type.
Oh, so you would still look like an orc. They just
But a
wouldn't be able to.
different orc.
You would just be a different orc.
That's hilarious.
It just says different, still severely out of place orc.
Here we have an orc, and then we have another orc named Steve. They're the same person.
Surely it works. Surely it works.
You are, if you were to approach them, you would be able to catch a little bit of their conversation. Mostly just that, like, it seems to be an argument over stuff going on in the mines. As best you can tell, before they kind of clam up and the guards kind of shoo them along, is that there was some sort of accident or danger of some sort presented to the miners, and they are concerned for themselves and their compatriots, basically.
Would this be completely unrelated to the explosion?
The guards did shoo them away rather quickly, and kind of glare at you as you get closer.
Can I take a note on where they're going? Well, I don't know what to do actually in this situation. It's like, just like take a note where they're going and pretending I didn't know. What?
I mean, like, you can make a mental note of it, sure. Like, you know, they the miners kind of get shooed off towards the other side of the plaza. Like, the guards are just like, get out of here, shoo.
Okay.
Go.
Towards the left, like the western entrance more. The plaza itself is still like, I don't know, couple hundred to 300 feet wide or whatever, like however wide it would need to be to accommodate like market stalls and taverns and stuff. It's a large plateau area, basically. It's kind of like think of like a city district on a plateau, and it's markets and taverns, but they're basically being shooed away towards the other side. Since you do have your comprehend languages, you can tell that the tunnels that they were kind of in front of lead to the guild, like, craftsman area on that side.
Okay. I shall relate this to my compatriots.
Beast.
Beast.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the Adventurers Guild, the Craftsman
Yeah.
Guild, the Merchants Guild, yada yada.
Yeah, like, as far as it just says, you know, the guild craft hall.
Okay. I feel like John fell asleep.
I'm
Probably.
right here.
He just hasn't had anything to say.
He's just thinking.
I'm trying to catch up, level up my character, and
He's a
figure
thinker.
out the setting, deal with Thunk's death all in one one go.
Why
Lots
is
of process.
Bro's
Fucking
hitting the
Bardar is
gym,
just
actively like mourning Thug's death, pumping weights.
he's like
Yeah.
no, he's like fucking hugging the urn. The urn that's like the
Yeah,
size of him.
That's definitely something.
Where we're supposed to go. It's just how we get there. The
Hmm.
guard just
I
gives
mean-
a bigger stink eye. Yes, Rich?
like pick a direction. For lack of a better way to put it, like
I can't see. I can't pick.
I guess it's ideal to probably go to talk to the miners that got shoot away. See if we can get anything more from them.
okay, sure. You would approach the group of disgruntled miners who definitely kind of start at your appearance and give you kind of some nervous glances. Like, foreigners are normal, but you are an orc.
Yeah, that is.
Can I go and meet them with him? That way they're like, oh hey, somebody normal.
I mean no harm. If I did, I'd probably already be dead. So, do calm down. I do have some questions I want to ask you guys, though.
They see Bamir kind of trotting up behind you, and upon hearing your joke, kind of give a little chuckle, like, oh, yeah, good point there, yeah, okay. How can we help you?
So, I can see that you guys look kind of worried and/or very concerned about what's going on, especially with what we've heard for our job about an explosion happening near here. I would like to know if you guys know anything.
We heard
Or
about it
anything
and we
else.
saw it.
Well, yeah, we also saw it.
We.
Sorry.
Waves hand in front of face again.
I just imagine Colin saying "we" and it suddenly appears right next to.
Yes.
She followed Bamir over.
Just has like the fucking hair around my wrist like a little child leash, like follow the leader.
Two of the three dwarves kind of look at each other. They're like, I ain't going the way of old Karen's boy. I'm out of here. And they kind of like shuffle off. But the third one sticks around.
Sweet.
And he looks nervously towards the guards. He goes, we shouldn't be talking here. Follow me. And he sort of like starts leading you towards that western tunnel. If you choose to follow.
Oh, yeah. I'll follow him.
Alright. As you guys approach this tunnel, for those who don't understand Dwarvish, which I think is just Alexandril at this point,
Yeah, pretty much.
I
know like literally everything else.
you would notice that this is marked as sort of like residential area. And so like mostly dwarves live back here. You don't see a lot of other people. So you do get a couple of weird looks, but since you're with this dwarven man, nobody really stops you. The tunnel itself is very smooth, kind of think classical dwarven sort of designs and filigrees kind of carved into the sides there. It's all decorative. There's a few maybe like murals of famous dwarven nobles or whatever. And after you you end up kind of going westward and bending northward through this tunnel, and then as it opens up, you to your right is the canyon of the like chasm of the city, right? And then to your left is this large amphitheater like cavern with like terraces of houses built back into the mountain, broken up here and there by like little sitting areas or gardens of sorts. And this dwarven man kind of leads you up and into like the third tier into his little house and kind of like ushers you in quickly.
How big is the door by chance?
I mean, it is meant for dwarves, so anyone over like 5 feet tall is gonna have issues kind of like bending in to fit in.
Oh, easy.
Alec Vandal is gonna look kind of like Gandalf when he's in Bilbo's house.
Yeah, I am the tallest now, aren't I?
Yeah, Thonk would not have been able to fit inside this building at all. Like they're like even squeezing through the door he would have been like half out. the interior is, largely like stone cover or carved furniture with like cushions and stuff on it. So you guys are kind of strewn about, and he turns and kind of runs his hands together. He goes, "My name is Fragmere, and there's something wrong going on down in the mines." And you can see, like, even in the comfort of his own home, he is still sort of nervous. The guards,
How wrong?
strange glowing rocks, sounds, scraping, people dying and disappearing. I don't know.
Ugh.
The guards say an accident. I don't believe it. The king. Ugh. He kind of like peeks out the window again to make sure there's no guards standing in front of his door. The king seems to be obsessed with some glass they pulled up from the mines. I don't know much more, and I can't say much more. I've seen men who speak out dragged away.
Where did they take the glass?
Presumably it's with the king in his chambers. Or I've also heard tell that it's next to his throne at times.
Does it do anything?
That is beyond my particular scope. I'm a forge apprentice. I don't really do much of the king's work, but maybe someone in the temple could give you more information on that. I have heard tell that the king is often found staring into it. He just kind of like looks around. He's like, there is definitely something going on in Gamilkarad.
Alright, thank you.
He nods.
Kind of just like gently pat his shoulder, as like so he understands he doesn't have to talk to me because I know he's fucking scared as shit.
Indeed.
And there's a lot of investigating we have to do.
If you ever need anything, you know where I live.
That is true.
And he kind of like peeks out the door and then ushers you away again.
I must away.
Where do we go next?
So as you exit his house, and kind of proceed back down towards the main thoroughfare, on your right would be the tunnel that you came through. Directly in front of you is that big opening that like you can kind of see across the chasm. A district that looks to be probably industrial. Lots of like fire and smoke kind of billowing from that particular area. And to your left, at the other, like the northern end of this sort of amphitheater, is a large wall that's been decorated with carvings of, I guess, people, for the lack of a better word. I don't know. Anyone with a knowledge religion could make a check if you want.
Knowledge religion, you said?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Man,
I can also
do
do that
hope
if
the
somebody
cleric would be able
describes it to me.
Yeah, I know, right? Why is it light mode? Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Oh yeah, actually,
Nice.
Callie can't see it, so.
If somebody describes it to me, I could.
That is perfect. Varnar, you recognize these bas reliefs as 5 colossal carvings of the gods Torag, Iomade, Abadar, and Erori. From left to right.
Got it.
I can give you those names too.
Yeah, if you could send that to me for my notes.
Oh, that's on the wrong fucking
I was
computer.
like, those are words.
you would know that
No rush.
Toreg is like the father of creation and typically like the primary dwarven god. Iomade, fucking weird names. Is the Lady of Valor. She's kind of like justice and you know, that kind of stuff. Abadar is the god of like merchants and vaults and stuff like that, master of the first vault. And Irori is the enlightened one, kind of god of knowledge and stuff like that. And so yeah, so they have basically their likeness carved into the wall here, roughly 30 to 40 feet tall. Torag's is the most resplendent with kind of golds and obsidians and gems kind of put into his person, whereas the others are obviously still very, very well made because, you know, duty to the gods and all of that, or, you know, respect to the gods, but they are a little lesser than Torag's.
Gotcha. I will relay as such information to the party without repeating it, obviously, as that would be kind of redundant for time. And then I'll sort of postulate as to what it's doing here.
You would remember, as it had just happened, the man mentioned a temple of some sort, so connecting two and two, you would probably assume that like the temple district is on the other side of this wall.
Okay, that makes sense. Best not to go breaking through it then.
It does have like a tunnel through the kind of between the statues that you can go through. It's just like an obvious divide, like people live here, people worship there, kind of a thing.
Like, here's where you change into your Sunday clothes, and here's where you wear the Sunday clothes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You would notice that kind of coming to and from is pretty light traffic, but you do see some like acolytes in their robes versus like people just kind of going to potentially worship at one of the churches or make offerings or whatever.
Shall we pay the gods a visit as I head off down the tunnel?
All right.
Sure.
As you guys approach Alec Vandrel, you can see another kind of runic carving into the top of the tunnel. It says in dwarven inscription, says, "Stones may crack, steel may bend, but the gods endure." And as you guys kind of go through this tunnel, it's roughly like the wall itself is roughly like 30 feet thick.
Okay.
And so the tunnel kind of takes you through that wall, and you can see reliefs carved into the like western side of the wall of the gods and kind of their mythos surrounding them. On the right hand side, you can see small little alcoves where people put like quick prayers or offerings, or like, you know, just kind of quick worships that they don't need the god's intervention, but just kind of want to like quickly say a prayer or something. Coming out of that tunnel, you would see another sort of amphitheater cavern plateau. Immediately to your left is this large, tall temple for Torag. You can see, and I'm just gonna Varnar relays this information. You can see that the hammer of his sigil is up above the door, and like it's very gaudy and ornate. And then kind of further down, you have a temple for Ayamide, Abadar, Irori, and then there's a fifth shrine that is really more of a hallway, and it just has like basically smaller ornate shrines for the remaining kind of good or neutral gods. So like Calistria would be in there, for example, or Caden Callian or whatever. And then sort of and then in the middle of kind of all of this is a small kind of basin pond area with a garden that is kind of tended by some of the acolytes. And that's kind of what you guys can see here.
Mhm.
Like my family just started blasting the fucking radio, which is why I said Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Anyone have any suggestions on where to start?
Can't quite see where we're going.
Anyone other than her?
Callie at this point just turned around facing a wall or something.
I mean, she can still see, she just can't see.
Varnar
I
kind
thought
of
she was
taps her on the
completely
shoulder
blind.
to get her back in line with where she's supposed to be.
Huh? Oh,
she actually follows along perfectly.
Oh, excellent.
Kind of
She just
weird
does
for a
the,
blind
the little
person, but
waddle.
positions yourself in the middle of the group as often as possible.
Smart.
Surround yourself in strong people, that way you don't have to deal with people.
your knowledge of religion, Varnar, would probably hint to you that, like, I guess, let me put it this way. What is it you would like to learn at this point? Like, what are you seeking in this district?
I'm not entirely sure. I
What
guess
is the knowledge you seek, my
someone
child?
like someone who would understand how or why a king would become obsessed the way he has. But I don't.
Dragon sickness.
Gold
What
sickness.
are there? Okay, are there faiths that are related to the studies of geology, like in the same way that like a lot of biology comes from like early like Catholic priests and stuff like that doing tests in chapels and stuff like that? Is there anything
Really?
sort of similar to that? Yeah,
Okay,
actually,
okay.
a
Yeah.
big chunk of biology and actually physics too.
Yeah.
Really
Was
funny.
just dudes locked in a chapel with nothing to do.
Bro, that's really fucking
Hermeticism.
ironic.
Yeah,
Um,
Hermeticism, exactly.
knowing the dwarves like you sort of do, and then again your knowledge of religion itself, the Temple of Torag would be a decent place to go for anything sort of probably king or nobility related. Like, that's going to be the temple that the king himself likely frequents. Alternatively, Irori's temple is kind of the temple of knowledge, so that's the one where they would be conducting those experiments or kind of learning that kind of stuff.
All
So those
right,
would probably be
I
your
have a
two best.
suggestion. We split into two groups. One shall take the Temple of Torag, the other Temple of Aurore. We'll ask around, see if the king has frequented any of them for any amount of time recently, and if so, what he may have been doing there, asking about who he was with, etc. Try to keep a low profile, but we need to gather as much information as we can. Is everyone in agreement?
Agreed. We're basically doing Mission Impossible, just dun 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 dun. dun.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who
I
am I
mean,
going with?
asking if the king has been there is going to raise some questions either way.
True. Any suggestions on how we might phrase it so that it doesn't come across as how to say this without saying the word treason?
Well, it's not treason because you guys are not from the city. And very clearly so.
It's still
It's a dwarven city.
Well,
Any
Yeah, fair
crime
enough.
against the region of a country is still considered treason, even if you don't live there.
That's fair. Maybe we should ask which one the king favors, so that we may study the same as him in their ways. You think that? And Varno's gonna kind of look. He's gonna kind of look left and then look right. Well, do you all think that would work?
Hmm.
Mm,
It's
Wobbles
not very.
hand back and forth in a sort of motion.
That's
I
not
just play my
really
guitar.
that's not exactly reassuring.
I hate to bring it to you, buddy. Have you met our group?
True. I suppose we'll just have to do the best we can.
It is worth noting, though it is hard to tell time down here because it's basically dark. The only light coming from like torches and the magma below. It is evening time-ish.
Don't they have like a giant clock? I feel like that would make sense.
They probably do candle time.
Like a
They-
Big Ben sort of situation.
They would have like giant bell tolls for specific times of the day, yes. But you would just know that like you guys haven't been in the city all that long. Maybe an hour or two. So like you would just kind of, from what you remember when you came in, it is roughly evening time. Sunset should probably be in like 2 or 3 hours.
Good, I have 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, that was mostly for your benefit.
Thank you.
Well, if we only have a few hours, we should move quickly. Who's going with who?
Monday.
Alexandro just turns around.
Sorry.
Melts into the distance. There's nobody there. We're pretty sure he's talking to a ghost.
Gets to work.
Another orc shows up.
Nani?
Jesus.
Every time he does that, he just summons another orc.
Well, don't all jump at once. Who's going with whom?
I'll go with John.
I'll go with I'll go with Callie. We need the smart and also the person who can see together.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very well. That just leaves Alexandro. You may choose, wherever you'd like to go.
Boys
think-
versus girls. Let's see who gets the better info.
Probably the girls.
Real.
I assume he had to step away for a moment because he did yell.
He did say
Yeah.
his family was blasting music.
Not that we
You
can
bet.
hear it.
Are you going
Okay,
with
everybody.
Tiberius and Varnar or Amir and Kali?
Girls trip, girls trip.
Sounds like they're trying to make their decision for you.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey. Alexandro's part of the girls.
Huh. When
Could
did I
be.
agree to this?
You were voluntold.
It's because of your spell.
Everybody.
It made you into a female orc.
Girl, Lord.
The spell of transitioning.
Oh my god.
Just looks at them. Hey, sisters.
Not the James Charles breakdown.
Get the fuck
Anyway,
outta
it-
here.
It look Varnar and is gonna motion to Tiberius to sort of quickly, before this goes on any further, to begin the process of investigation.
I think ideally it's more common sense to go with the guys, because then if they see this fucking orc next to two small
Varnar
women,
is slowly stepping away.
Oh, I see it.
Mm,
Yeah. Okay, so which
Honestly, that's
temple
a fair
are Varnar, or which temple are the boys going to? Which one are the girls going to?
Boys go to the girls' temple. Girls go to the boys' temple.
Ah, yes.
I don't know off the top of my head if Aurori is a goddess. We'll say it is. I think she is.
Alright.
I know for a fact
Right.
Torag is the father of creation, so he's obviously a
just
man.
to
like the
clarify-
number one dwarven god.
Yeah,
Just to clarify, is Callie completely blind or like?
to your knowledge.
No, that's fair. I sort of like pseudo like tap her hand off of my hand.
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
I forget Skylar does.
Oh my gosh, an elven woman and her daughter walk into the temple of Torag.
Wait, hold on. Is Callie shorter than me? That'd be really funny.
Yes.
Yes, this is great.
I believe I wrote it down. I did not write it down, but she is pretty short.
Small
And
lead.
oh, detail I think John might like to have noticed. She looks like she could fall over dead at any second.
Like John.
I respond to this in the way that I want to. It will.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna dox myself. Let's just leave it at that.
What do you mean? What do you mean by this?
I understand.
All right, moving on.
So yeah, sure. Let's handle the Temple of Torag first. You girls approach the temple.
Yay.
Obviously all are welcome. So they don't really
Great.
like bar you from entering or anything like that. They do give you some looks of askance because it is primarily the dwarven god. Not a lot of other races outside of like if they're craftsmen really worship Torag, and you don't really strike them as like craftsmen. Like I know you are technically Bamir, but they don't see you as that.
Look at my calluses to tell you I ain't a craftsman.
But they like I said, they don't stop you or anything. They just kind of give you some weird looks. You can see acolytes kind of milling about in kind of this general garb of acolytes of Torag. What do?
Do they have like an open library or a closed library?
You would notice that there is kind of like a wall of scrolls off to the like right side as you enter in a little alcove.
Mm-hmm.
Is it tended to?
There is like a single dwarven acolyte kind of perusing the scrolls and kind of like dusting the shelves and stuff.
I will approach him. He seems like the librarian. Acolyte person. The guy who tends the scrolls.
The scroll tender.
The scroll tender.
Yeah, he gives you a kind of a once over. Can I help you?
Just double check. We are checking to try and find out why the king went evil, right? Am I double checking that right?
We're just seeing if he visits and how he acts
Trying
when
to
he's
figure
visiting.
out what his motivation is. Yeah,
Is
why
the
he's
king
doing what he's
actively
doing.
religious?
Okay, thank you.
Why he's gone all Thor and Oakenshield at the end of the third Hobbit movie. Never mind.
You completely lost her, John.
You lost me completely.
You
buddy.
need
I'm
to,
so
you
sorry.
uncultured swine.
I
I'll
am
say
very
Dragon
uncultured.
sickness.
I'm so
Bro,
sorry.
all
crazy
of the
because
references in this arc are gonna go right over your head.
They are. I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Loud whistling sound too.
Listen, if it doesn't have funny cartoon noises, I don't care.
Oh my god.
Wow.
He's brain
He
rotted
uses the
everybody.
Wilhelm scream like 4 times in that movie.
Dude,
Yeah, they do. It's pretty funny.
It's really funny.
Chat,
All
she's
right.
brain rotted. Sorry.
Would they have a visitor's log?
Of the temple?
Yeah.
Probably?
Okay,
Check
how do I do this?
You know, how
Check
easy
the
it is to
donation
plagiarize the
ledger.
visitor's log.
Donations ledgers. That's actually a really good idea.
I mean, that
If
was
he's a
joke,
king, he.
but
Yeah, but they do actually have those.
The question
Hey,
isn't
guys.
whether or not they have them. The question is,
It's whether or not you're going to be able to see.
will
it.
you be allowed to see them?
All right. Let's see if I can work some magic here. Hello, my good sir. I was just wondering if you happen to have a visitor/donation log. I'm trying to find a friend of mine, and they said they donated here recently, and I can't seem to find any information on them.
Roll me a diplomacy check.
I can
I think
do
this would
that.
be more of a bluff.
Oh, bluff. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's bluff.
Yeah. Either way,
How
I
good are
have
you
both
at
of them.
lying, child?
I forget that bluff was a skill.
Bluff is higher than my diplomacy, though, so this works out. And I got a 12. Son of a bitch.
He looks he looks you up and down. You, a friend here that you can't find, and you want the donations list to find them?
Yeah. Just a name, really. I wanted to make sure they actually visited. That way I could maybe find some information nearby from anybody that might have seen them. Because I know for a fact that they visited this particular church. I'm just not sure if they visited recently or not.
He squints at you. What's the name?
His Royal Highness.
Fuck.
His royal fineness.
Time to remember dwarven honorifics.
Can I check, see if I remember honorifics?
Private retcon, let's go.
Private retcon!
You would, at the very least, remember the name of the guy that you had, like, just spoken to. Excuse me. Just spoken to? Vragmir.
Can I check to see can I give him his name?
You could.
I will give him his name.
He squints at you,
Mm-hmm.
and then pulls out kind of a ledger looking thing. Doesn't let you doesn't hand it to you, and starts perusing
Obviously.
himself. When would he have come by?
In the last week or so, maybe? Sometime during this last week.
He thumbs through the pages and he goes, "Oh, we have quite a handful of visits from Vragmir."
Oh, lovely. When was the last time he visited? I just need to know.
Which Vragmir?
Oh,
Fuck.
It's like
that's
the
really
Bob
good, by the
movie.
way. That was clever.
Fuck. Depending on why I'm looking for him, would I or would I not know his last name?
He never gave you his last name.
I know he never gave me his last name. Depending on why I'm looking for him, I would either know or not know his name. What does he look like?
A dwarf?
Hmm?
Wait, who? The Vragmir?
Ragmir! Yes!
The dwarf.
The guy we were just talking to?
Yeah. You know, dwarven features, has kind of like a handlebar mustache and a goatee.
What's
Bald
the
on top
color
of his
his
head.
hair?
Red.
Okay. Red hair,
Most
bald.
dwarf-looking dwarf you've ever described.
Look, man, what do you
Most
want from me?
dwarf-looking dwarf to ever dwarf.
Most
I'm gonna throw on the blind charm.
Fuck.
Please, sir. He didn't give us his surname.
Do you know what he did?
We're trying to find him so that we can give him some documents from another town over, particularly something pertaining to, oh god, what's it?
He mines.
Yeah.
These documents are about a
And
deposit.
crafts.
You know,
Mm.
That's what it
narrow
was.
it down.
The man kind of scans through the list again. Ah, that would be him. All right. Yes, he came in a couple days ago. And then he gives you the address of the house that you guys just left.
Lovely.
Could we? Well, could my friend here look and see?
I want to make sure I get the address correct. Because I'm not very good with spelling, you see.
He does look down and realize that he wrote it in Dwarvish.
Yeah.
Um,
This works out.
he sort of as you guys are talking there, he kind of gets a wave from one of the other acolytes to come over and he goes, "Very well, but don't touch anything." And he kind of like leaves it open on the table and then walks over really quick to go help his other acolyte
you, sir.
buddy.
That fucking worked.
I give him a polite wave, which
He-
isn't really phrased properly, but
he starts to wave back and then just kind of like wait. And kind of again walks over to his buddy to talk about whatever they were about to talk about.
Okay, we don't have much time.
Please tell me you read Dwarvish.
I don't. Can I roll? Okay, so can I roll fucking Is there something in language? Linguistics. Yes. Can I roll to see if I recognize the characters of the king's name in any of these?
A linguistics check, if that's a
Yes.
skill.
It is.
You may attempt to try to discern it.
Please, Mama needs a new pair of shoes. 17. Please.
There's a lot of dwarven runes on this page.
Fuck.
You can't.
Wait, look for the biggest donation. He's rich as fuck.
You do notice a handful of larger donations. They're not all the same denomination, but they are substantially bigger than the typical, couple gold here or there kind of things.
I'm going to do what is a big brain move. I'm going to take a piece of paper and a pencil, and I'm going to lightly rub over the text, that way it copies. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're trying to do, yes.
Mm-hmm. Can I do that?
I'm going to need a sleight of hand check.
I can do sleight of hand.
Before
Now
you
we're
do
going
that,
talking.
God,
I guess with what assistance I can, Kelly will underline a specific section and tell you what to write by speaking it out
fantastic.
in a language you understand.
Thank you.
You notice a denomination that is from King Kilring Torvin III.
Thank God.
Very obviously the king
How
of
big is
this.
the donation?
It's like a couple thousand.
Oh damn.
I'll read off the exact number.
2,173.
That's wow. That's a lot of gold.
He is the king.
Obviously, I told you he was a rich man. All right. Sleight of hand. You said.
Yes. If
You
you are
can read
Well,
the correct
if you
number.
are attempting
it's
to
speaking-
make a rubbing of it, and then yes, you would need to do a sleight of hand.
I got an 18.
I mean, it was being read to you, so you just.
I
Yeah.
could just write. Yeah, I'll just write that down. Why not?
Sure. If you're just writing it down, then you're fine. Nobody
Okay.
cares because you were supposedly there to get an address of your friend.
Just
Cool.
in case, I'm going to actually write down the other address just in case he checks to see if I actually wrote it down.
Oh, and when was the king last here?
Oh, yeah, I'll also write that down.
2 days ago.
Perfect.
2 days ago? Okay. Which,
Yeah.
post-explosion, right? Because it took us a while to get
Yes, that would be post explosion. If as Callie is sort of seeing the pages or whatever, you would notice that it seems he comes in kind of a bi-week or 2 times a week sort of pattern. If his
Right.
donations are anything to go by.
Okay.
Should be here today.
Ooh,
Perchance.
perchance. But so we got that done. I'm going to do a smart move. I'm going to write down the other address that we said we were here for and switch
Mhm.
back to the page it was on.
Okay, sure. That is his name, by the way. In the Roll20 chat.
Hillary Torvin III. Perfect.
Um,
Alright, I'm gonna write down all the information. I'm gonna switch it back to the actual page just in case he checks, because I can never be sure.
the acolyte does in fact make his way back and kind of look at the page to make sure everything seems in order.
I fucking told you.
Uh,
I'm smarter than that.
he then just kind of looks at you.
Your next move.
Got everything you need?
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
You should invest in a braille
What's-
system.
He looks down at you. Noted.
Can I see if I remember the what's the term for what's their like leaving phrase? Like you know when you say goodbye to somebody, what's like their goodbye phrase?
Rocket Stone.
Sure. Yes.
Oh no.
I didn't make a dwarvish phrase, so rock and stone works.
Rocket Stone.
He kind of gives you a surprise. Rock and stone. Kind of bows to you. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick swap over to the Aurori people. Before we do that, though, does anybody need like a bathroom break?
No, I'm good. Can I give like Callie a high five? Because that was
Sure.
so fucking good.
How would you like to do that?
Take her
Slaps
hand.
her in the
take...
face.
No, take her hand, take my hand, and then we just clap them together. Yay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try and hold up a hand to a blind person. That's a dumb idea. I am not Sokka, thank you.
Wait, did you just say you grabbed her hand and high-fived her, like made her high-five you?
Yeah, pretty much.
What was that? Why are you hitting me?
It's a high five. It's a.
She did not consent to this high-five?
Oh.
It's like a light tap, not like a full-on slap. Like a little boop.
If nobody needs to go to the bathroom, then yeah, we'll just continue on to the Aurori people.
Onwards.
I'm good, Captain.
Alrighty. In the Temple of Aurori, you can see, like, this temple has an area for worship, but it is largely, like, library and experimentation areas.
Good luck, gamers.
Again, kind of like the Temple of Torag, you can see the acolytes milling about and doing various, like, knowledge keepings tasks.
Are they mostly women?
No, they're a good mix of whatever.
Alright. The smart move here
This would be
to
for-
have... The smart move here would be to have Alec Vandrel act suspicious to, like, draw attention away from the other guys.
Yeah, this is for the
Yes,
boys
the-
team.
The only person that is able to comprehend the current Dwarven language should act suspicious.
And a
I mean-
dwarf, and a orc to boot.
To be fair, you are an orc, and therefore you draw a lot of attention.
He is
that's
accompanied
right.
by, like, two
Okay.
holy people.
True.
John, you
Girls,
awake?
Girls.
I'm here.
Sorry,
I'm
Dwarf.
sorry.
You're good.
But-
It's your guys' turn. You, Tiberius, and Alec
Oh,
Vandrel
oops.
are in the
Time for you to do your mission.
Temple of
Impossible.
Aurori.
Right. All right. At the entrance, I'm like, all right. I know how these people operate, so let me handle the talking. Agreed?
Sounds like a
Okay.
plan.
I just look at him. I play my guitar.
I play my guitar.
Dun-dun-dun.
Excellent.
Do you
step
actually play your
through
guitar?
the-
Please tell me you do.
Just a little bit. Not too much.
Is it?
Like-
Is it? You mean like the scene out of
El Dorado?
Yeah. He's in the background, just holding the one note.
If you strum a couple notes, every eye in the temple turns to look at you.
God damn it.
Might not want to do that again.
That's disrespectful me.
You're very tempting to make me do it again.
Do it again, do it again, do it again.
Nah.
Play up a nice jaunty tune.
I just give them a slight smile.
Most of them
I,
kind of
yeah.
scowl at you and then continue about their work.
I bet the
Anyway.
acoustics in here are fucking awesome.
I'm
Look
going
at the
to
banger.
accost a random dwarf in the temple and greet
Accost?
them. Greetings. My name is Varna. My friends and I have come to study under your faith. As we heard that this was the place to be, for believers.
This was the place to be for believers.
I kind of fell that
Holy
fell
shit
apart from
out
me
of your
then.
ass.
Is your like holy symbol for Callistria readily visible to people?
It's on my clothes, yeah.
Okay. He would kind of look at that, but and you see sort of like a little bit of disdain in his eyes.
Oh, rude.
Callistria is the goddess of lust, and vengeance.
That's fair.
But
Why'd you go for the fucking lust goddess?
there's a
Anything else?
It's complicated.
I shouldn't like lust, love, vengeance. But anyways,
Okay, that's a lot better than lust. 'Cause that
it's-
sounds more
it's-
like a demon.
It's more like passion.
yeah.
Passionate love.
Ursa, hey, my kind of goddess.
Real.
Of course, it was Ursa.
Debauchery.
But he does kind of nod to you as well. Knowledge is for all, after all. What do you seek?
Not that much of an asshole.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily care for his kind, but
Damn.
also, you know,
Yeah,
is
but it
the teachings of Iori are kind of, you know, spread the knowledge, gather the knowledge kind of a thing. So
I will.
So you could theoretically.
I gotta turn this.
exchange
I'm a little in the hole here, so I gotta turn this persuasion around. Well, you see, we come from afar, having heard that this temple is so deeply knowledgeable that even your king frequents it, that he might learn
Ew.
of the gods to a greater degree. Is that true?
the give me a diplomacy check.
Go
Oh,
for
boy.
it, buddy. Roll better than me. Roll better than me.
Yeah, Ursa, I would say that
I-
Callistria is a lot like Aphrodite in a sense of like
Is
Pantheon.
there any way I could help him with this?
Meanwhile.
How would you like to assist him?
Please don't tell me he failed horribly. I'm gonna check.
Oh, I hit a 23.
No, you
Let's
got a
go.
23.
Oh, you're not gonna help. You were gonna. Okay. All right. All right. 23 is enough. He does kind of like smile a little bit, and he's very clearly pleased by your praise.
Oh,
Well.
so he has a big ego. Got it.
But we are, after all, the leading knowledge on the continent. Of course, the king comes to us for informations and advice in times of need. He is a wise king, after all.
Excellent, excellent. What most would you say your king seeks to study? For me, I believe that such wise men should be examples, and we could use that as a starting point for your teachings.
The acolyte gives a little bit of thought for a moment. Well, lately he has been interested in that rock glass thing that they pulled up from the deeps. Divination seems to be his point of study.
Divination. Fascinating. Can I pull like a pen and paper from my pack?
Sure.
Excellent.
Sus.
I'll take that down. Divination. Seeking deeper knowledge. Fascinating. Fascinating. In my own studies and travels, it's been very limited. The nature of true divination, being able to see the future, is a power that only a rare few possess.
Your power of bullshit is something to fucking marvel.
He does kind of like look around a little bit, make sure nobody's in earshot. Some say the king has been changed. He stares into that rock.
Ranch rental question. Do they have like any dwarvish sheet music around them?
I mean, you could kind of peruse if you wanted to just kind of like walk around. This place is not really one for music. The Temple of Irori is really more concerned about like practical knowledge rather than like artistic knowledge. At least in this particular instance of it. Given that dwarves are a little more practical than artsy. Like their art is typically just to kind of show off how practical and powerful they are.
That's true. Dig it.
But yeah, the acolyte kind of continues. They call it the Morzarok. And I will type that in chat for you guys. And there are priests of Torag that are worried he's courting ruin, but I dare not say more. Dare not say more. And he kind of like backs off a little bit.
I must away.
See. I'm gonna feign my best concern and ignorance of ever having heard any of this before. Is it really true though? Could he use such substances to, well, not to overstep, but I believe perhaps he means to protect your kingdom. There's some sort of threat he has detected on the horizon, not yet seen even by your own diviners.
The acolyte kind of like stands up again, more confident, and kind of like back to his original sort of non-secretive self. The king is of course wise and always has the best interest of the people in mind. I would have no doubt he does whatever he can to further the glory of Gamilgarad.
Indeed, indeed. Well, if you've got any tomes along the way, I'm trying to decide whether or not this is enough to go on, or if I'm gonna overstep by asking and become suspicious. Do you have any tomes we could borrow, starter manuals or manuscripts for the instructions of your faith?
He kind of holds up a hand. One moment, and kind of scurries over to a little alcove and grabs a couple of like little pamphlets, basically. Little scroll pamphlets.
Okay, while he's
God.
scurrying, I'm gonna, as a free action, I'm gonna like whisper over to the other two. We need a way to track the king's movements. I've got nothing. Should we push for it now, or meet back up with the others and see what they've learned?
I'd vote meet back with the others.
Live fast, die young.
I
Bad bitches
vote
do it
we
well.
sneak into the castle and watch him sleep. I'm kidding.
Meanwhile, me and Callie are just like
I
at
give
a
I give
restaurant or something
Alexandril the
getting
most
food.
confused look. Barnard was like, what in the gods? No, we're not gonna watch the king sleep, you bloody buffoon.
Bombastic side eye.
I'm gonna-
Funnier way to watch his movements.
We need to know where he's going, not where he sleeps. We know where he sleeps. He sleeps in the castle.
We'll just meet with the others.
Ah, very well. It's good to know. It's good to know that these substances might be used for divination, but bugger me, this is just all too much.
I do love that his British accent has changed throughout the entire campaign.
I'm trying. I'm doing the best. Like,
It's
I'm
the
so
same thing
tired.
with Alec Vandrill's accent. They both should just have changed. throughout the campaign.
Yeah, I noticed that. I didn't want to say anything, but you were like switching through different like Spanish casts the whole time. It's really funny.
We did say at the start of this campaign that it's gonna change because I do
Yeah.
not remember how to consistently do a Spanish accent that makes sense.
Understandable.
For
The
a
acolyte.
second, it's-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The acolyte returns with his little 3 pamphlets of kind of the Aurori faith and kind of the core tenets and stuff like that.
AKA the mini Bible.
Yeah, basically it's like their little version of like the, you know, the introductory kind of kids Bible version. Yeah.
The Orcs Bible version.
He just hands them to Varnar. Always glad to see a new convert.
Thank you very much for your time. We'll be on our way for today, but should we have any more questions, may I ask for your name?
Y'all gonna make me come up with a dwarven name.
Sorry.
No, I have one. I just gotta find the right piece of paper, the right sheet that had it on it.
You could just use the same name that
Ragmir. It's like John in fucking Dwarvish.
Jesus. You just named him John Smith.
Varnar has this sort of imperceptible twitch in his right eye as he tries to process that information. He said, and then the mask comes back on, and he's like, "Thank you, Ragmare. Gentlemen, let us be off. We've taken enough of this kind soul's time." And I'll turn and sort of like not so subtly gesture for them to turn and walk away.
As you leave, the acolyte bows, rock and stone.
Rock and stone.
To the bone.
That's the guard's return
So
comment.
We'll head back to we'll head back to try to find the others. Try to find Callie and Umir.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got a thing on my Twitter. Sorry, I was just like,
Oh.
this guy. Not to break character. This guy. I was retweeting your stream tweet. This guy killed all 8 Night Lords in a row, deathless, and I realized we did 6 last night. So, but I don't think we didn't die, so I don't know if that counts or not. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
That's sick.
My brain. Yeah, it was really.
Yeah. You guys kind of meet up around the like central pool basin area. Again, it's basically just kind of a big like reflection pond and a little garden next to it that the acolytes are tending. And I guess presumably share information?
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't learn much, save for that the king seems to be using those substances as a means of divination, and he's become absolutely craven in his pursuit of them.
We learned the king visits about every 2 days to Church of Torre.
Could it be similar to the Veil?
I believe that he said the king comes by every couple of weeks in the
No, it's like,
Church of Aurora.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir Benjamin and Sir Surge the Legends. Yeah, every couple weeks or so, just kind of from what you gathered from what the acolyte said, it's more of a he comes by when he needs advice kind of a thing, or when he's
Gotcha.
seeking specific knowledge.
It seems less frequently so to the Temple of Aurora. However, the contact that we made it suggest that the king is indeed truly obsessed with this power.
All signs point that he's still faithful, at least, so he's not, abandoning prior ideals.
Yes, but ideals taken to an extreme can still cause harm.
At this moment, a deep, resounding bell kind of tolls throughout the entire canyon. Its point of origin is the Temple of Toreg, actually, so it's like incredibly loud where you are, and it just kind of reverberates around.
It'll be covering my ears.
Yeah. It's not like hearing damagingly loud, but it is very, very loud. Bamir,
Like a fucking ambulance loud.
yeah, Bamir, you feel it is nighttime.
Ah.
The sun has set. And as the kind of like final reverberations of the bell kind of pitter off, you hear the thudding of many, many booted feet coming from the northern tunnel from the temple.
They're here for booze. They're here for booze.
Everyone except for Callie can turn to see 5 dwarves abreast, 3 rows deep, and behind them this dais being pulled.
A what thing, Paul?
Think of it like a large, or yeah, dais, whatever. Think of it as like a large throne, basically.
Oh.
Upon
Who's
which
the best drinker?
is sitting presumably Killering Torvin III.
There it is.
And you can kind of see like acolytes are kind of scurrying out of the way and back into their temples and kind of, preparing for the king's visit, basically.
Well, yeah, Lucky.
You guys just, presuming you stay where you are,
Since it's an
As long
evil
as we're
king,
not
I
in
don't.
the way.
Yeah, since he's an evil king, we're actually gonna try and hide out of sight because I don't want him seeing us.
Okay, make me a stealth check if you're trying to hide.
I can do that, buddy.
Wait, why don't we want to be
That's
seen?
a cool dirty 20.
I don't know.
Bamir melts into the crowd.
Okay.
To like pretty much everybody's
Become
she do
puddle.
that?
God.
I would assume this city, I'd be heavily at a disadvantage when it comes to stealth.
yeah,
Cool here.
you guys are not on the like main thoroughfare, you're kind of out of the way, so like the guards just they make their train up the main walkway along the canyon's edge and then kind of curve towards the Temple of Torag. Nobody even really looks at you.
Yeah, as a side note, Bamir, in quotes, her eyes are now green, but her hair remains the same, because Crooks actually uses a weird gel thing to make it look black and smooth back. Just putting that out there.
If they could see you, that's what they would see.
If they could see me, but I'm putting that out there for future
Yeah.
reference.
The dwarves kind of march up, and then the ranks part as the dais is set down, and the king gets up and just strides purposefully into the temple. You see, presumably, like the head acolyte greet the king with bows and take a small bag of presumably the king's donation. As they both kind of walk inside. The guards then just kind of retain their sort of parade stance outside the entrance of the temple.
Interesting.
This is straight up just a dwarf-drawn chariot, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, yeah.
Seems like something an evil king would do. Not gonna lie. Alright, what are we planning on doing, gang?
Gang.
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 It is worth noting, Bamir, you are technically hidden amongst the shadows. So, I mean, you can break that stealth if you would like to talk to your friends.
No, I'm staying where I fucking am. If the king is nearby, I'm staying in the fucking shadows.
I've lost my seeing eye friend, so
My seeing eye friend.
Did I just pull Callie with me or no?
Not if you want to remain stealthed.
Damn it.
Seeing eye friend.
Conflicting.
Conflicting.
I mean, she's not like milling about aimlessly in a crowd or anything. She's with the others.
Mm.
You know, she's not a lost child walking through the dwarven city.
she
How
could pretend
old
to
is
be
Callie,
very
by the way?
convincingly, though.
Can I just pick up Callie and put her over my shoulders?
If she'll
Do
let you.
not.
Do not do that. That is so rude.
It's like, do not the cat.
Do not do
Actually.
that.
Are you guys just gonna stand there while the king goes through his, like, visitation?
I just want to see if he has to go.
Are they blocking the entrance?
They aren't explicitly blocking the entrance, but you do notice that, like, none of the other acolytes are entering.
I feel like if you guys actively looked for me, you would just have like a cat in an alley situation where you just have glowing green eyes looking at you.
You do have a member currently stealthing.
Mm-hmm.
Did any
How
of
effective is
us
that stealth?
notice her stealth?
I just
I don't know, have they?
Woo.
That's for me to know.
Hmm.
As of right now, she's simply standing in a shadow, so the guards aren't doing anything if they have noticed her.
I am asking if he has the orb with him.
If the king had like the rock thing that he was supposedly looking at that you've heard about? No, it was not with him.
Okay. That's all.
At least that you saw. You're not exactly certain what it is you're looking for, like in terms of like physical description. You know that it's a rock or glass of some sort, but outside of that, like you don't really know, and you haven't seen anything that fit that description necessarily.
Well,
Hmm.
anyone be able to stealth in there?
Me.
Yeah, that was the hint, Skyward.
Yep, I'm going. I'm stealthing in.
Okay, I want another stealth check as you attempt to slide into the temple unnoticed.
I can do that. That's an 18.
Let me...
I bluff my blindness like I'm making my way back to the temple.
Ha 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 ha. Dun 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 dun.
You could just play the blind card and just not know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You...
That's actually a really good idea.
Do you try to do this, Callie?
Yes, I'm going to, air quotes, fumble blindly.
As you get sort of closest to, or closer to the temple, the kind of guard farthest away that is closer to you kind of holds up a hand. Where do you think you're going, young lady?
I believe I dropped something inside when I was visiting earlier.
Well, unfortunately, this is the king's time. We will all have to wait. And he kind of gently keeps you in place. But your distraction is enough that Bamir is unnoticed as she enters
Yay!
into the temple.
Excellent.
Dun, 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 dun.
Inside, you see the king is the only person in this temple as far as like worshippers go. There's a couple of acolytes kind of lining the sides, and there's the lead acolyte kind of up at the altar. The king is sitting in kind of the front row on a special chair, and they are just they are conversing about things of the faith, right? Like, you know, bless this king and the country. Not that you understand it because you don't speak Dwarvish, but it just seems like a generic sort of you know, worship of Torag.
Okay.
It's a real bummer you don't speak Dwarvish.
It is
That's
a real
crazy.
bummer. If only someone could have cast the spell on me before I went in.
Man, if only you
You
communicated.
disappeared before that could
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, really.
No, that's my
You
fault.
do see after sort of, I don't know, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes of this sort of generic worship, the acolyte approaches the king, and they start speaking about, again, you don't really understand, but you do catch the word Morzarok, which Varnar would have told you is kind of the name of this divination thing that the king has been looking at.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can tell... Actually, give me a sense motive.
Sense motive. I can do that, Bucky. Bucko. Bucky. Ah.
Bucky.
Shut up. Sense motive.
Armed and not dangerous type shit.
That is a cool 19.
All right. You can tell sort of that, like, the lead acolyte seems a little distressed. Kind of not like, he's obviously helping the king because he is bound by oath and duty to do so. But you can tell he's very much not a fan of whatever the king has been doing, and is trying to sort of dissuade him from potentially using the Morzarak or whatever. Again, you don't really understand the words, but you do hear the word Morzarak being repeated occasionally. And then, again, another 10, 15 minutes go by. They kind of finish their conversation, and the king stands, and the acolytes all bow at once, and he turns and he exits the temple. For those of you outside, you see the king coming out, and retakes his seat, and the guards begin their trek back up to the keep.
Okay.
All right. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do?
What do you want to do? You are currently kind of hiding in the shadows near the entrance of the temple. On the inside.
Next guy, follow the king.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna follow the king.
You're going to follow the king up to the keep.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Don't say that.
As you...
You're welcome, Ranch.
Start sweating buckets.
As you
I play
attempt...
my guitar.
As you attempt to follow the king, you reach the northern end of the temple district.
I blame Lodge.
And this, excuse me, this tunnel is grand and wide. Wide enough for the 5 dwarves to fit across, no problem, even when they're all fully kitted out in their swords and shields and stuff.
Sneak is there.
I mean, so the one benefit you have is this is an underground kingdom, so there's a lot of shadows. There is like torches and magical lighting, but there are also a lot of shadows because of this.
Okay.
Also, the dwarves are proud people, and they would not really expect anyone to be following them at this moment. So as you kind of dart between shadows behind them, you are still able to sort of sneak along. This tunnel has basically no decorations on it compared to the other two. It is a large, wide staircase kind of winding upward towards the northeast. And,
oh, is it a spiral staircase?
It's not really a spiral so much as kind of like a switchback. So it kind of goes up one way, and then kind of comes out onto a little platform landing, and then switches back up, and then platform landing, switches back up, platform landing. And you find yourself back, essentially on the same elevation as the arrival plateau at the top. I do need another stealth check as you are sort of following these guys along.
Yeah. 29.
Perfect. Yeah, you managed to...
I want to emphasize that for the first two, I was rolling very low.
Yeah, you managed to kind of slide up behind these guys. It's a good thing you rolled so high because it is still very difficult to hide. You can see along the walls, especially like the switchbacks, there are like error slits and murder holes everywhere.
Murder holes. Nice.
And if you kind of like look at them long enough, you can see guards moving beyond those holes, kind of watching the approach. As you get to the top, there is a large set of twin obsidian gates that are closed up until the king's guards get to them, and then they slowly swing open. You can see at least half a dozen guards on either on top of that or on either side of the gate. And this is very clearly like a huge checkpoint to get through. How would you like to attempt to get through the gates? Because if you try to just walk in after them, they will likely notice you, even with a 29.
Sorry, could you repeat what gates look like? I was completely.
They're
blanking.
essentially really tall, think like 30 feet tall. Obsidian and iron and I don't know, you would presume
So
like adamantine or something.
So the walls are made out of. The walls around the gate are made out of what?
Solid stone. Solid stone.
Smooth?
There's basically like, think of like a typical castle's ramparts. There's a
So it's
little,
brick stone.
well, except for it's like smooth stone.
Okay, so like completely smooth. All right.
But like there is kind of like a top, a little bit of space, probably like 6 or 8 feet of like open space above the wall, because the guards need to be able to stand up there and like shoot down.
Is there a staircase to the upper parts of the rampart?
Not from the outside, or not from this side of it.
So the only way through, theoretically, is through the gate.
Yes. I mean, you could attempt to try to climb over,
Are
but
there
again,
any materials nearby?
any materials? What?
Specifically a rope.
I mean, you have a rope in your backpack.
I do have a rope. You're right. Any other materials nearby? I need to make a grappling hook.
You have like pythons in your backpack.
Pythons? The fuck are
little
pythons?
metal sticks used for climbing.
Are they strong?
They're used for
They're
climbing.
used for climbing, so yes.
Alright. I
Um,
will combine my efforts to scale the wall.
okay. I will need simultaneously a climb and another stealth check.
Climb. Yes.
Okay.
And another stealth check.
Better
Don't
pray
fuck
you
with
roll
me.
well.
Don't fuck with me. 26. Yay!
All right. You manage to scurry up the wall pretty quickly. Thanks to the sound of the boots of all the soldiers moving, nobody really notices the clink of your little makeshift grappling hook and you climbing up. You do get to like the top and like flip over, and the guard is right there, kind of, you know, maybe 5 feet away. Doesn't hear you as you sort of like, you know, cat burglar land and sneak in the shadows.
I want to make sure that I grab the fucking grappling hook I got.
Yeah, you pick
Leaving
it
here
up.
would be a very bad idea.
You pick it up. The guard kind of does that whole like tense spy movie thing where like he sniffs and shuffles but doesn't really look at you.
Yawns.
Yeah, exactly. And you kind of slip down the other side of the wall. You are now kind of hidden in a pocket of shadow at the corner of the walls, and are now looking out towards the, what you would presume is like the military quarter. You can see large squat buildings, probably barracks of sorts, a training yard, and at the far northern end is another really, really tall gate. This one's probably like 70 feet tall. The walls are impossibly smooth. The gate itself is ornate and made of like mithril and iron, kind of crisscrossed
Man,
and
they're really fucking
banded.
bougie here.
This thing is a
Castle, bro.
it's a castle. This
really.
this is
It's
a
military
testament.
sector.
Yes, this is a testament of like dwarven endurance made stone and into a gate.
Fun.
You can see kind of the king's guard and dais is kind of moving towards this opening. There
Okay.
is
are
not a
there
lot
ways
of
up?
cover on the way through.
Okay, so if I'm imagining this right, it's like a big yard, right? And,
Largely, yes.
It's like a rectangle shape with like walls on each side.
So think of, similar to the arrival plaza you have on the south end is a cliff face facing this canyon that kind of separates everything, right?
Okay.
I'll draw a map of it and give it to you guys later. I just
Yeah.
forgot to do that. And then on the eastern side, you can see sort of like barracks and training fields, and a large squat building that serves some sort of purpose that you're not entirely sure of. And then it leads down a tunnel towards presumably whatever that district is on the far side. On the western half is your tunnel that you came through, another large squat building that you don't know what it does. And then on the north half, or the northern like wall face, is the large ornate wall and gate that leads towards the castle.
Okay. Not a lot of cover.
Not a whole lot.
Can I make a fucking distraction? Somehow?
I mean, what would you... I mean, you can. What would you like to try to do?
So you said there's, like, a cliff face that descends into a, like, valley, right?
It descends into a pit of lava eventually. Think kind of like the canyons that form in Minecraft where they just go down and then eventually there's, like, lava or whatever at the bottom of them.
My first thought would be to make an explosion in the canyon so everyone goes look, see what's happening.
That would, in fact, draw the guards closer to you.
True.
Because the tunnel is kind of on, like, the southwestern corner of this plateau.
What about the ceiling?
It's,
Really
I mean,
bad, right?
it's a good, yeah, this cavern is a good probably 100 feet up. Give or take.
Lactite?
I mean, even if they were to hang down, they'd still be like 95 feet up.
Oh, I'm not trying to make them hang down. I'm trying to make them crash down.
Oh my god, she's gonna collateral somebody, guys.
Fucking bad idea.
Not collateral. I want to see if I can crush something, but not someone. I don't want to actually kill somebody.
I mean, you could try. You would have to make a very large explosion to do so.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Okay, fuck.
Screen.
I will point out that, like, while there is very little cover, you could still try to stealth across. It's just what's going to happen is the guards and the king are going to get through that gate before you can get there, because you have to take a lot longer to sort of stick to the shadows and make sure nobody's looking at you. You know, you got to avoid their cones of vision as you move around.
Which is why I'm trying to distract them. Because then I can just run over.
Okay.
Just don't know what distraction I can make.
I don't know. That's on you. In fact, I'm going to end us 4 minutes early and just leave you there to ponder.
Yeah.
4 minutes early. We end at
This is
2
actually an
o'clock.
hour early.
Is it an hour early? Oh my god. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm
Why not go back to the rest of the party who has no idea where she went?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at the clock and I'm not used to starting on time.
Yeah.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
We always have to wait for John.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you're not used to the extra 3-hour session.
Oh my god. Holy shit. There's so much that we can do. Oh my god. All right, yeah, we're gonna go back to the other party. Real quick check-in though. Does anybody need a bathroom break since we've been going for a while?
Fine.
I do.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break or 3-minute break,
right back.
whatever it might be.
So you said
God.
there were
Sin.
2 buildings nearby, right?
DM forgets that we're
Bro.
actually on time.
Oh my god, I was not ready. Here, I'm gonna do like a
Right.
quick paint map for you here.
That'd be great. You said there were like 2 buildings. I don't know the thing of right nearby.
Correct. There are like 2 sort of squattish buildings that you can't really discern what they do. The one closest to you is a little bit taller and kind of fortress looking. But again, you can't, like, it's not like apparent what it does or what purpose it serves.
Fuck. Fuck. Oh god, I don't know. I'm not good with this sort of thing.
You picked the stealthy class.
I did pick the stealthy class, but I forgot I'm not very good at thinking up distractions.
You also picked to go it alone.
I did pick to go in alone. This is correct. This is my own fault. This is my own hubris.
Alright, I'm gonna take a leak.
Okay.
Go for it. I'm just gonna be pondering.
Big pissin'.
Now
Are
this
there any,
guy's
like-
thinking because I'm gonna smell
Are there any, like, supplies in the open?
Any what?
Supplies.
Supplies.
Yeah, like crates and barrels and stuff.
I mean, there's a handful of like military supplies here and there. Yeah.
Is there like a thing in gunpowder?
Oh my god.
Because I want to try and make a smoke bomb, throw it towards the gunpowder barrel so that people think it's about to light up and they panic.
So, mechanically, you could spend some time hiding to create a weird science device that would effectively cast darkness.
Yep.
And that
Okay.
would be a good distraction for you to do.
That's a good idea. I forgot I'm also a weird science fucking nerd. Yeah, okay.
Bro, she forgot her class.
I kind of forgot.
I'm happy to help play your character.
Thank you, buddy.
Bro, I've been trying so hard not to like just tell you what to do.
I'm trying so hard. I really shouldn't have gotten in here by myself. I need a little bit of a boost sometimes.
I need an adult.
I need
You
an
are the
adult, you're an
adult.
adult. But yeah, let's do that. Why not?
Let's see here, and then you got like you're gonna have to ignore that these squares are not all the same size and just assume they are.
I'll
I
assume
can't
there.
ignore that.
I'm
sorry.
just making this like really quickly. There's that, and then we're gonna go green. I'll make like a better map later, but this is just to give you a vague idea of what the opening sort of looks like. Oops. Why did that do that? Oops. And then like this, like this. Can't ignore that, he says. Gee, thanks. Son of a bitch. Okay, and then we go this. Please. Go this. And then can I just copy and pasta this into Discord? I should have labeled these, but I will just tell you what they are in a moment. I have to go pee, so I will be right back.
Bro's pissing. I'm also gonna go pee. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I return.
I also grabbed a granola bar.
Ooh.
Welcome back, buddy.
Let me go. Is everyone back?
I've been here.
Okay. Well,
John, I
so
think.
yeah, to explain my image to
I mean,
Skylar.
my microphone was muted.
Okay. Real quick explanation of the image to Skylar, if you have
Oh,
seen
nice.
it.
That was fast.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it was
just
very
it's
cool.
just a paint square. I have better one planned. Have a good piss, boys. The brown boxes are the large buildings that you're not quite sure what they do. The green boxes kind of mark the tunnel entrances. You are standing in the left one.
Left one. Got it.
I can't ping it because it's not on screen.
Yeah,
The
no, I see it.
orange circle kind of is just to mark like a sort of combat training area. The rest of that kind of space there is either road, because the two large roads kind of lead up either side between the orange and brown buildings. The circle is like the combat kind of training area. The bottom of the image leads out over the canyon, and then the orange squares are like the barracks buildings, and the red square is like the gate part of the wall. So that just kind of to give you an idea of what you are looking at. For the rest of you, Bamir is nowhere to be seen. Actually, if you want, you guys can give me a perception check to see if you saw her stealthing up that wall. That's probably a good idea.
Oh,
It
shit.
would be site-based. I'm sorry, Tara.
It would be sight-based beyond 30 feet.
Goodbye, friend.
She doesn't exist for you. anymore.
Actually, you can still give me a perception check because she would have potentially passed within 30 feet of you leaving the temple.
Right.
But you wouldn't necessarily know beyond which direction she was kind of heading.
No.
Man, Varnar almost noticed. Because her stealth, I believe that one was the 29?
He sneezes a little.
The stealth going in was 18. Stealth leaving was 29.
Right.
And then stealth again to get on top of the.
Oh, on top of the wall. Right. I will say that, like, you didn't necessarily notice it was Bamir, but you did see, like, a flicker of movement following the king's procession.
Would it be enough for me to get suspicious?
I mean, you could be suspicious of movement after the king. But again, like, you wouldn't have really... You know that Bamir is missing, and you just...
Yeah.
You saw movement. It is up to you to see if your character would actually connect the
Should
two.
check your Twitter, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Or DMs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. Varna would not act on a mere suspicion or even like a slightly out of ordinary detection of movement, even near the king. So I will not act on it, but I will note it in my mind.
Okay.
Not out loud?
Not. Did anyone else see that?
Looks at the blind girl.
I meant
Fuck.
I meant only Well, you see, there was a bit of movement.
Smooth. No.
Is there anything you guys would
A
like
bit
to
of
explore?
movement where?
Oh yeah, there you go.
In the
Kelly
direction
frames
of the
that
king's
she's looking
procession.
around.
Well, it was in the direction of the king's procession, but I didn't actually see anything. I don't know, thought I saw something.
You saw what?
Something. I don't know.
Something.
Maybe.
Hmm.
So maybe like the glint of glasses or something like that.
I don't know.
It's
Doesn't
kind of
Crix not wear the glasses.
yeah.
Not sure of.
Oh, I thought she didn't.
Mm-mm.
And like what he saw basically was like the flicker of movement of a body, right? Like someone very clearly trying to be sneaky. He just wasn't able to make out who it was or like any like features, or if it was kind of one of those like, was it a trick of my mind or was there actually somebody like going up there?
Okay, so here's how Crooks, how the change works. Basically, it's like a different person. Their eyes change color, but overall their physical qualities are pretty much the same. Think of it as having like an alternate personality that works out, but you don't work out, but you still get the benefits.
Interesting.
Yo, I love my Jim Bro alter ego.
Pretty much.
Yeah, mine's really funny.
So they still have the same sensitive eyes, so therefore the glasses are still like a thing. But for Crooks, she has a mask with lenses built into it, so that way she doesn't, get flashed.
Ah.
She can take the lenses out for darker areas because that makes it easier for her to sneak around. Because without the lenses on, she can actually see in the dark pretty well.
Yeah.
She also is just a rat bastard. So there's that.
Wow.
She basically thought the glasses were too nerdy looking, so she decided to make her own.
What would
Smart.
the other party like to do?
Sure.
Well, we know the king showed up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what was going on inside the castle except for Bamir, or the temple, except for Bamir, kind of.
Whee!
I sort of know. It was his prayer time.
I mean, yeah.
This is talk to the big guy in the sky time.
Butterfly in the sky. I can
Perhaps
fly really
follow the
high.
procession, or search for more clues, or a way to get an invitation.
All good ideas.
Yes.
Yeah, could try that.
Meanwhile, Bamir's over here not Bamir, Crooks is over here trying to make a fucking cast darkness device. Fiercely sweating.
Do you guys try to just follow the procession, or you kind of ask around first?
Could ask how to get an audience.
Yeah.
Very well.
We start a band. I'm kidding.
The next random passerby. You there? How would we be granted an audience with your king?
The acolyte kind of starts at being hailed. An audience with the king? Whatever for?
We... Unfortunately, my boy, that is classified.
He kind of looks around. He's very clearly a newer acolyte, younger. He kind of looks around and goes, not many meet with the king these days outside of high-end clergy, or maybe a foreman or a craftsman from the forge district. One such as I would never gain an audience with His Highness, of course.
I see. Well, thank you for your time.
Of course.
Anyone else?
Rock and Stone.
Rock and Stone, yes. Anyone else? Ideas?
This is literally just the Flamio Hotman of this universe. And I hate it.
Varnar very obviously disappointed in not, like, the very first dumb gut check thing he chose to do, not really panning out. Any other bright ideas, anyone?
Perhaps we go visit a craftsman and see if he can get us an audience. Or she.
Very well.
Okay.
let's get everyone and find out. What would it take to notice Bramir is gone?
I mean, passive perception, passive perception, like you would just notice, like, hey, a party member is gone. You guys have been around each other long enough, like you would kind of expect her to be there.
Count, shall we? Let's see, Tiberius, Thonk. Oh, not Thonk.
God damn. It looks a
Alexandro,
giant empty spot. Oh.
myself. Where's Bamir?
I'm in space, fucker.
I believe she and I had a similar idea to see what the king was doing inside the
Well,
chapel
yes, but
there.
how would she do that without us? Obviously, we need to go be granted an audience.
Of all the times not to have a
Legally.
shell phone.
Government
Wow.
mandated
Imagine-
shell phone.
Imagine you guys called me. I'm in the middle of making this fucking device, and my phone starts ringing with like fucking Barbie girl.
Wow, yeah.
That
I'm
guard
a
would
Barbie
whip
girl.
around and kill you so fast.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I suppose we should find her before we head off to the craftsman. What say you all?
What was the similar idea?
Oh, to see what the king was doing or saying inside. But
Oh, so
I
she
was
followed him.
stopped, and I assume she got in there.
What? Got in how?
Callie shrugs.
Oh my.
I lost sight of her after 30 feet.
I didn't see.
I lost sight after
You know,
I-
for a Boy
I
Scout, you
quote-unquote
kind of forget
lost
the
sight.
other ways you can get in a building.
Are you suggesting we
Supposing-
risk our lives by sneaking into the castle?
No.
Meow.
I just.
I was going to suggest we pose as the day's entertainment.
I slowly pick up my guitar again.
No, not
Promise?
like that, Alexandro.
Oh, he doesn't know what the hair can do.
Nope.
Harpsichord?
Harpsichord, really?
Yes.
As far as you guys know, just kind of to give you sort of, again, the map layout, the only way to find a guild master would likely be in the guild hall, which is back the way you came and around the U.
I think we do that and see about getting ourselves an audience. We do it the legal way.
Yeah.
Very well.
All right. You guys make your way back, and as you exit the tunnel leading towards as you enter the tunnel leading towards kind of the guildcraft area, this tunnel is adorned with like various alcoves of just kind of, you could see like an artist set up here or a craftsman, like a weaver set up there or whatever. And then as you get into the area proper is kind of like the residential area, but a little bit smaller, since there are fewer buildings here. And they're just, again, kind of tiers of various craft guilds. You can see like a weaver's guild, a leather, like tannery. There's like the vats of dyes and stuff outside. And another kind of thing to note is the lighting here is actually from a small vent in kind of the roof of the chasm. And it is refracted around all of these like many faceted mirrors to sort of diffuse the light and kind of give this an almost outside look. However, since it is nighttime, it is still very, very dark.
Yes, I noticed these changes.
You don't notice, but everybody else notices this. All of the guild halls have like essentially magic torches out in front of them at this point that are lit up. And many of them have like little staging areas for product of some sort to be shipped to the arrival plaza for selling.
Alrighty. I can't believe Tara's partner hit us with a good afternoon gamers
Yeah.
based. So where's the guild hall again?
Literally any of these
Okay.
buildings are various guild halls for various crafts. You would also,
I just look at Varnar and I was like, all right, pick one.
I guess you would notice that like the more metal adjacent ones, or like mineral adjacent ones, are closer to the far end of the hall from you.
Okay.
And there is another tunnel leading sort of downward beyond.
That's unfortunately the only craftsman in this group right now because the other one's gone is me, so
Oh, you could offer the king to make arms.
I could make him a gun, yes.
Bro's gonna make the king a gun?
An excellent idea.
it actually totally not go wrong in any way.
No, you just have it presented in a nice case. Unloaded, of
Mm.
course.
Yeah.
Yes. Filled with blanks.
No.
Yeah, no, unloaded.
Actually,
Teach
that
them
one-
gun control.
Hmm.
Fantasy gun control, I mean.
He immediately points it at someone.
He immediately aims it the wrong way.
This is really neat. Blam. Oh.
Ursa read my mind. He points it the wrong way, so he accidentally shoots himself.
The king would know how to use a gun.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if you could make a really nice one, that might work.
I mean, I have a really nice one right now. I pull out the new gun. That is finished, right? Because
Yep.
you did say by the time we arrived in the city.
Yeah. You
Oh,
managed
wow,
to finish
it
it
looks
up.
fantastic.
I just handed it to Kali so she could actually get the feel of the gun.
Touch on
Unloaded.
the
Because I
details.
do not...
Do not trust.
You don't want a
blind
hand.
women
Trust
with
a blind
loaded
woman with a gun? Click, click, click.
What does
Not
this
really.
trigger do?
Ooh, what does this one do? Actually shoot someone's leg off?
Sure. So if you are looking to find like a craftsman that might work on like firearms, you do find like a bowyer.
Bowyer.
Oh, yeah.
People who make bows and other ranged
Oh,
implements.
yeah.
Uh,
An arch.
no. The archer uses the bow.
A Fletcher.
Yeah.
A
Sure.
Fletcher.
Yeah,
there we
Minecraft
go.
terms. Minecraft terms.
I was thinking this
A bower.
boyery, like that word.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
Bowyer.
yeah, they make bows and other ranged implements. You can kind of see that he's the one dwarf that's still in the building is kind of closing up for the night. But he kind of turns. How may I help you? That's the word. Thank you.
Shit. Okay, diplomacy shit.
Go check
What was the
I-
question
I could
Varnar wanted
speak.
to ask again?
Go gaga, go gaga, go gaga.
How
In
to have an
Dwarvish.
audience with the king.
We seek audience with the king to present him with a gift, and we're hoping your guild master could assist us in its creation.
He looks at you, and a gift. What kind of gift?
I interrupt the
Only the-
conversation. Like, go
The
ahead.
finest of ranged arms, a rifle for sport.
Hmm. The king does love sport.
Can I show him the gun, like as a demonstration? I'm not gonna shoot it. It's unloaded.
Right, you're showing him your craftsmanship of the gun you made.
It looks something like this, but as a rifle, something much more intricately designed as well.
He kind of, his eyes light up and he holds his hands out. May I?
I just hand him the gun.
You see him expertly kind of like flip it back and forth, looking at the design of it, the decorations or whatever you have made on it.
The copper inlays, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of like aims it down to see if it's true, not pointing it at anybody. Finger off the trigger all the time.
Oh my god, trigger discipline is so important.
And he kind of like examines like the loading mechanism and all of that, and then hands it back to you. It's a fine piece there. I believe. He goes, I believe the king would want to have a piece as fine as that. A rifle, though, you say?
As my friend suggested, yes.
He kind of like wipes his hands on his apron and goes, well, I'm Care Hammergut, and I am the guildmaster of this guild. I can certainly attempt to get you an audience, but you must know the king is a proud man, and I cannot guarantee entrance.
Whatever helps.
I was gonna say
As long as we
something
have a
about
chance.
better proud than dead,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna say that. Yeah.
As long as we have a chance, it's fine with us.
Besides, we're not certain that there's any kind of plot or anything against the king in that way.
Yeah.
We're just missing Bamir and missing an audience.
God.
He's still mourning Thonk's death. He almost said,
Yeah,
You
got me. It's hard, man.
He looks at you and says, do you have the rifle complete?
I'm assuming build.
Can I lie and say no? And see?
You can try.
He's gonna want to see it.
It wouldn't be a good idea. I don't.
He's gonna want to see it.
I did ask for an assistance in its creation.
yeah.
My little
Yeah.
opening shtick.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
That's right, you did. Retcon.
My goat.
Actually, sir, they did say that they needed help with the creation of it. He nods and says, "Okay, well, I will work on getting you the audience. I believe my apprentice might be finishing up out back, and so I can have him help you with this creation. But you will also need to get metal from the Forge District."
Okay.
And he's kind of like turns to the back and like pokes his head in and yells out in Dwarvish, for his assistant to come and help you, basically.
Let me. So we want to make him a rifle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to make him a cylinder rifle? Or a musket? Or a musket
Well,
with
we
an
want-
axe
we
or
want it.
warhammer?
We want to give him a good
A
rifle.
musket with
That's the
a
thing.
warhammer.
It'd be a very
We want to
dwarven...
we want him a good, like a dwarven rifle that's good, but not too what's it called? Too good in case he turns on us.
I mean, the more ornate, the better, obviously, because this
Mhm.
king is very proud, very much about his imagery.
That would be taking a dip into design points again.
But also, the more complicated you make it, the longer it takes to craft.
Yeah.
A doobie dooba.
And also, what sort
Sure
of
sh-
metal you make it out of?
I'm sure she can scrounge food while she's on.
Well, because it is technically 1,000 gold per day.
Yeah, we're gonna fast track this because you'll have an assistant helping you.
The fuck fuck is a fire lance? Sorry, I just looked at
It's
the fucking.
literally a lance with a grenade that you launch. It's like a handheld
That's
rocket launcher
hilarious.
thing.
It's
It's a
hilarious.
wait. It's a Panzerfaust.
Yeah, basically.
Holy shit!
It's literally just like it's like the mortar tube, and you're just holding it.
Uses a javelin and 2 doses of black powder as ammunition.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the grenade on the end of the stick that they would
Mhm.
rush at tanks with. Got it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's even funnier.
The
Guys, I'll be right back. I need to go check on some noise.
the assistant will be able to help you with like the bulk of like the woodwork and stuff, so like the
Yeah.
and like maybe even like the trigger mechanism and stuff. Like the most of the metal work and the gunsmithing like actual stuff will be done by you. So if you want, decide on your gun and then go source your metal, and the assistant will basically make the rest of the gun while you make the metal bits.
I mean, what's the? I would assume they'd have a decent fire, like high-end firearm already, right?
If you're looking to just modify something, sure, like they have regular ass
No.
muskets.
Oh, okay. So that's their high. Is that their highest?
Oh,
that
you
they
mean
have?
like in terms of like advanced? Yeah. There's not like a double-barreled shotgun or anything.
That's gonna take a while, but it would be funny. Inputs, friendings.
I recommend Sun Silver if we can get our hands on it.
Okay.
It is an extra 25 gold per pound of
That's-
whatever you're making.
The gun is kind of like 12 pounds, which is
He means 25 gold per pound of the
sun silver.
yeah.
Yeah, so
But
like however heavy this thing is, multiply that by 25 and add that as a base cost to the
Mm-hmm.
that would be
Thing.
300 gold.
it is immune to
What are you
rusting.
making?
If it's just a normal rifle, but with sun silver, or do you still want to do the cylinder rifle?
I think the cylinder rifle would be a good one.
Okay. I will say that like part of the weight of a gun would be like the butt and the stock and all of that. So like we'll say it's 10 pounds of metal, I guess, instead of the 12.
Okay,
Um
that's 250 gold.
Maybe not the cylinder rifle, actually.
Yeah, you see how the cylinder rifle's
I think
more
just the
expensive than the
regular
base rifle. Yeah,
Just the regular rifle.
very well. Can I draw up the little schematic for us?
Okay. Regular rifle.
Yeah, it's a 5,000 gold rifle plus the
Oh, that one. Okay.
extra 200
Okay.
for the sun silver.
Dwarfs like gold, right?
They do.
They
Uh,
do gold inlays.
You would also notice that this particular kingdom uses a lot of obsidian in their like decorations.
Let's do obsidian inlays.
That's a little tricky. I have not worked with obsidian, but
Oh,
it could work.
sorry
for the
about that,
stock.
guys. I had to mediate an argument.
All good.
It could work for the stock.
Yeah, like so you would have like basically like obsidian stones or something, kind of polished and inlaid into the stock of the gun.
The gold inlays are still not a bad idea. It just adds to the profile.
Yeah. It's just also a little expensive, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I could just melt a few gold pieces.
We will say, like 6,500 to like craft all, like source the material and craft the gun, basically. Actually, I lied. We will say 5,000 because the guildmaster is actually going to source the like stock of the gun and some of the materials. He just can't get the metal for you.
Yeah.
So we'll just say it's offset. So, still a 5,000 gold gun to create here.
Okay. I can pay for it. It's fine. I have 5,700 gold, so it should be fine.
I have no money because you guys didn't share.
I just
Yeah,
figured
we
you would have
can
taken
go-
thonks.
We can get with.
Technically, Tara got a really decent starting item in exchange for
Yeah.
not having Thonk's
Yeah.
money.
I'll withdraw that gold.
Okay. You guys will have to head to the Forge District, which is through that northern tunnel, to source your metal. Sunsilver, you find it, basically. The mines here seem to have like a plethora of almost every metal unknown to man. Like, you look around and all of these forges are full tilt, like full of almost everything. The like cavern itself has large like aqueducts of lava, basically, that fuel all of these massive smithies and forges and stuff like that.
Beast.
There's just like there's large bellows every here and there, like just think of like really, really ornate dwarven forges. And you're able to like source it. The dwarves definitely look askance at you as you kind of purchase this metal.
Okay.
Do you attempt to use their anvils?
Should probably go back to the guild hall.
What do you mean
Yeah.
by use their?
Well, you have to form the metal.
Did the Bowyer's Hall not have a metalworking station?
They had like a small anvil set up.
I believe we just go there then.
Mm-hmm.
Away from people who aren't so skeptical.
All right.
Yeah. They don't need to see my talent.
You head back up to the Boyers Hall there and set to work on their much smaller, much more domestic-looking anvil and forge.
You know what? I'm gonna be a little fancy. I'm gonna be a little greedy to make this a good weapon. I'm gonna spend another 300 to make it a master weapon.
Okay. Sure.
So
As
up.
as like the first hammer strike you're bringing down comes up, you guys feel, and Crooks, you feel this as well from where you are, a large shuddering of the like cavern, like an earthquake basically kind of rumbles through this entire canyon. Nothing else really seems to happen that you can notice. I mean, things fall down a little bit, but like there is this kind of rippling rumble through the canyon of an earthquake. Give me perception checks.
How do the dwarves around us react?
That's why you're giving me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Of course.
I got a 16, by the way.
Wow. Bamir, you can give me one too.
Perception check?
Yep. And then Varnar whenever you're around.
I'm here.
Perception, my favorite.
Excellent.
27.
Everyone except for Tiberius.
Callie even got better than you?
Yeah, so Callie, because of your limited range of perception, you notice that like the craftsman, the dwarf, the guildmaster, and his apprentice are very clearly unnerved. They're kind of like righting some of the like shelving and stuff that fell over, and they are not. They're very kind of shaky and nervous about it. Everybody else also notices that, but everyone. So, Alexandro and Varanar, you notice the handful of guards that are in the guild area don't even bat an eye. Like, nothing happens, they don't react. They're literally light shake, no reaction.
Lightweight, no reaction.
And Crooks, you see the guards, a couple of them kind of look around up there, because that's the military district. There's nothing but guards up there. They're a little more relaxed. They kind of look at each other, give knowing glances and stuff, but for the large part, like, don't do anything super panicky.
Okay.
Going to reassure our craftsman pals here that death comes, but not today.
Death comes, but not today.
They both look
Very
at you and
reassuring
pale
words from
slightly.
someone Very reassuring words from someone who literally looks like they're about to fall over dead.
The fucking Grim Reaper over here telling them that death comes.
Just ominous aura.
But yeah, you manage to sort of finish the as you're working on the gun. The guildmaster disappears. He heads up, presumably to try to secure you an audience with the king. As you kind of finish up the gun and everything. Excuse me. Once you're done, presumably, and we're like I said, we're gonna kind of fast track this. We're gonna make it. Usually, it takes like days to make a gun, but
Yeah.
you're working under a fervor here, and you have some help from his assistant. So you manage.
Inspiration hit me.
Yeah, I mean, you visited the. Oh, you didn't go to the Temple of Torag. Well, whatever. Yeah, we'll just say, like, and you have idle hands to easily help you, like, maintain the forge temperature and stuff like that. Like, your buddies can help you out a little bit.
Callie stands by holding things.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Kelly controls
You're just hammer, and then she'll hand you the hammer.
She hands me a wrench on accident.
No, she would not.
But yeah, so you managed to get this done, and like right as you're kind of finishing up, the guildmaster comes back and goes, well, against all odds, I did manage to secure a brief audience with the king to present him with a new rifle.
That's good.
And so he goes, I will have to go with you. It is being presented under my name, but as the foreign dignitaries and craftsmen, I will be able to introduce you.
That's very much appreciated, my friend.
Egg salad. He kind of looks at the rifle. That is, in fact, a fine piece of work. I'm amazed you put it together so fast. How long have you been doing this?
5
I look over at my guns. It's like, honestly, almost a majority of my life. Mad in music.
He gives you a grudging look of respect. Imagine that. An orc.
I love he didn't judge the entire time until that exact point.
Like, yes.
Wasn't until it was in his own personal backyard. Type shit.
Well, that could have been worse.
It's one of those things where, like, he basically just didn't believe you. He saw your gun that you had crafted before, and he was like, oh, he obviously bought this from someone else or raided and stole it from him. Like, and then now that he sees that you have actually crafted something, he's like, oh.
Civilized human
Okay.
being.
I was like, okay, I see you, homeboy.
Yeah.
I see you.
He... Ah, yes. Look, man, he chose to play an orc. It is not my fault.
He literally told me when I picked orc, it's like, "Are you ready to get a lot of racial comments about being an orc?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's hilarious."
And I am toning it down so much. I have softened the
Yeah.
blows so
He-
incredibly.
He could have 40k'd it and just been like the green skin.
He could have called me a tusk mouth.
I could have made it so you're literally not allowed in any city ever on the face of the continent.
I
Yeah.
just had to wait outside.
Literally third, like 20th class citizen.
Damn.
Jesus.
No, he has a point.
But I didn't. These orcs are more like Warcraft orcs rather than Pathfinder or 40k orcs. Yeah, anyway, so I was debating on how to set this up because we do have Mimir just kind of chilling in the fucking military district.
Killing in the military district, practically trying to make a darkness ball bomb.
Yeah, fuck it. The audience is for tonight. Why not?
Rush order.
Yeah, exactly. The craftsman was like, "Oh, I managed to appeal to him, saying that you were traveling and needed to be off, but wanted to pay your respects. And so he has allowed a late night audience with him. If you'll follow me, I will lead you to the castle."
Alright.
And he kind of like motions for you guys to all go.
Get up to follow.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
can we have something to cover the gun so it's still like,
He provides you with a case for it.
let's fucking go.
Yeah. They have like display cases meant for gifts for the king. So yeah, he just pulls one out that the gun would fit in and lets you use that. He leads you northward through the Forge district and into another tunnel on the far side of that is extreme, like it's basically a mirror image of the one that Crooks climbed up. Switchback of stairs with arrow slits and murder holes. And pulls you guys out up onto the military plateau rather, on the opposite end from where Bamir is. Bamir, give me a perception check.
Oh god.
Time to do perception. 29.
Perfect. You see your friends coming out of the other tunnel, being led by this dwarven man in kind of an apron and kind of, work clothing. Alec Vandrel is holding a box of some sort.
Oh, perfect. A distraction.
Oh no.
Now would be the
I'm not-
perfect time.
The king has, by the way, long since passed through the gate while she was working on this.
Mhm.
So like it's just soldiers milling about at this point. The craftsman leads you guys right up to the gate and like knocks on a small door next to the gate. And I say small because it's small in comparison. It's still like a, it's a small gate rather than a door kind of a thing. Meant for maybe like two people across to enter. And that opens up to allow you guys in. Crooks, would you like to do anything in this point?
Did I finish making my thing?
Yeah, in the time it took them to craft the gun, you managed to make the little darkness bomb.
Huh. Do I want to use this and risk my friends getting in trouble?
You do
have an
see
escort.
them walking like explicitly up to the gate that the king so the king went through the big doors, but they're going through kind of like the small side door.
There's a fucking side door?
Yes.
You didn't tell me there was a side door.
Well,
You did not, to be fair.
that's fair.
You
That's true.
Motherfucker, I
It
could've-
didn't matter. You were across the plaza still.
Oh,
You hadn't gotten to the gate.
I thought I gate. That's the whole reason.
I mean, the gate, like the small side door, is still a guarded gate. Like, it's not like just a little servant's entrance or something. The idea is that this gate is for like everyday sort of people use, whereas the big gate is for the king, or like if something big has to be moved through it. The bigger gate is basically just a display.
Fuck it. Use darkness bomb.
No, no.
Alright, I am being called away, guys, so I'm gonna step out, but I'll listen into the rest of this after I
Yeah, we can end here.
after I wake
Yeah,
up.
we can
We
leave
can end
it
here.
Okay, well, thank you for the session. I had a lot of fun. I'm still not over Thonk, but I'll do my best to get over it.
Bro is
Rest in peace,
distressed.
big guy.
We
Yeah.
love Thug. We miss him so
All right,
much.
honey. All right.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys. Enjoy the rest of
Peace.
your stream, Ranch.
Petition.
Ending screen is just that. Yeah, so we're gonna end off. Bamir, your arm is cocked and ready to throw the darkness bomb. The rest of you are peacefully like lined up in front of this gate that is about to open to let you guys in. And yeah, that is where we will end off. I gotta close all these tabs, figure out where the heck I was. So thanks everybody for coming in. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I've spent a lot of time over the last I don't know, like 2 days kind of designing the city. So I need to draw the maps for it. I will hopefully have that up and ready so I can do a little like overlay, kind of like the other map. General update news. Probably not going to stream again tonight, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and send you over to Void, see what they're doing. I don't usually raid Void, so it'll be kind of fun. Oh, I'm so glad we got this session out. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't really have anything. Probably just business as usual next week, so we will see how that all goes. Thanks again. I hope you, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was a neat little, oops, I misspelled that. Neat little session. It's occasionally hard to direct people when I know what's going to happen, but I don't want them to like just feel like I'm railroading him in a certain way. So, if there was a lot of like quiet sections, that's what was going on there, was me trying to figure out how to best present information. I'm still learning how to be a good DM. But yeah, I will see you guys probably tomorrow. And I'm just gonna send you now. Peace.